Morning. Good morning, Denise Dryden here from Bainbridge Island. It's sunny out and it's New Year's Eve, and I get to stay at this fabulous place out in the country and take care of two lovely little pets. So I thought I'd take advantage of the outdoors and get out in the sun a little bit before it starts to rain. So today what we want to talk about is goals and presents, and I thought we would bring it all together with the fact that it's New Year's Eve. It's Sunday, December 31st, 2017. So it's New Year's Eve, and it's also full moon tomorrow. So it's like we have this invitation to bring the 2017 to a close, and we also have this big old huge super moon whammy coming right at the same day, which is continually inviting us to take a look at what works and what doesn't work, right? What we want, what we don't want, how we can start to be part of a co-creator in our own future. So I thought I would talk about that today. And you know, if you've watched my videos before, you know that I like to take some random words and start to play with them. So today what I came up with was defining what a resolution is, which is a firm decision to do something or to not do something. So, to be resolute about it is like, this is what I'm going to do. Boom. This is going to work. This is what I'm not going to do. It's an action or problem solving of a dispute, a contentious manner, or something that's sort of bugging you. It's like problem solving something that doesn't work, right? It's a measure of sharpness in an image, like a photo, or the fineness in a printer or a scanner or a video. So it's like bringing the resolution into something that really works for you, right? And it's also a quality of being determined, which I love. So resolution is a quality of being determined about fill in the blank. Determined about getting the image perfect, getting the problem solved, getting the goal met. So a resolution is something that when we say, this is what's going on, and I'm going to stand firm behind it, and I'm going to put all my energy in it, and I'm going to bring it into form. I'm going to make it happen. So, knowing that a resolution is that, a goal is a result of an achievement, sort of in a directed effort. It's a focus. It's something that we say, I want that to happen out there, and I'm going to go straight towards it, and I'm going to make it happen. Again. But this is different than a resolution. A resolution is an action that happens within you. A goal is something that you can determine is a measurable time. Like when I get to this point, when I get to this weight, when we get to this sales amount, when we get to this amount of savings in, money in our savings account, when we have our third child, whatever that is for you, that's your goal, right? It could also be in sports, football, soccer, fill in the blanks. It's an idea of the future. It's saying that somewhere out there I'm going to put a mark in the sand, and I'm going to go right after that. And when I get to that mark in the sand, then I'll know that I made it. But our goals are only based on what we know is possible for our future. And so it ends up being about control. It ends up about saying, based on everything I know so far, this is exactly what I want. And when I go towards that and I get it, sometimes we're not very happy with our goals, especially if they're resolution based. And we put all of our determination towards that. It's saying, my life is going to be better in the future when this happens. So goals can be kind of dicey, and New Year's resolutions, as we have heard, way too much over the years. What happens on New Year's Eve? We create resolutions, right? And that means I'm going to resolve to do something differently. Something's nagging me and paying attention. Now, I want to add one more word to all of this, which is manifest, which is a clear or obvious to the mind and eye. So when we manifest something, it's like, there it is. Oh my gosh, it just showed up. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And I know it to be true. And it's a feeling. A manifest is a gut feeling. It says, when something shows up in front of me and it lines up and it's right, I know it. I can see it. I can touch it. My mind understands it. And I know it to be true. It can display or show one's acts or appearance and demonstrate a quality or feeling, like we talked about. And it's readily perceived. It means like you don't, like as soon as you see it, you go, oh, there it is. It's like when you're looking for a house And you look and and then all of a sudden you're like, there it is. I know that that's the one I want. Sometimes you can't even explain it. It's evident. It's obvious. It's apparent, right? It's cold outside. It's something that we know. So as we spend today and tomorrow looking at 2017, I have some suggestions for how to go through this process. So the first thing is, we always have to start with thankfulness. We always have to start with gratefulness. What is it that has transpired over this last year that I am incredibly thankful for? What do I notice that is different? And how do I say, wow, thanks, I appreciate that. So what we do is we pay attention. What caught our attention? What do we notice? What we've learned, what we've discovered, what we appreciate, what we've suffered through, what we've made it through, where we're at right now, and we say thank you. Thank you. Because only when we can own what's transpired before us can we say, so how do I move into something different, right? It means that we have to start with what we have, and we have to say, I understand everything that's in front of me right now, and now I want to move it forward a little bit. So then we envision what we want our lives to be in 2018. And my suggestion, and I've been putting this on Facebook, is keep it simple. What do you want tomorrow to be? What do you want this first week of January to be like? What do you want the month of January to be like? Because if we're like, by December 2018, I will, sometimes it's just like too big of a chunk to take off. So envision what you want to feel like in January. What do you want to pay attention to? What do you want to play with? Okay? So when we envision, we keep it in front of us. We don't let it get out of control. We keep it in front of us and go, there it is, move it over this way. There it is, move it over this way. And we can have a goal or an idea of sort of what direction we want to go. However, keeping it in front, keeping it close is where it really counts. So think about things like a new job or a relationship or a house or less struggle or better health or global calming, peace. Keep that. How do you want to feel about that in January 2018? And then envision that. Okay? And the thing to remember is that all of this happens within you. You can't set a New Year's resolution or a goal for someone else. You can't set it for your child, that I want them to be better in school. I can't set it for your family, which is I want them to really love, family movie night. You can't envision it for you and your partner, which is I want us to. You have to get them involved. They have to be part of the co-creation. So if we're talking about a management group at work, or we're talking about a family system, or we're talking about a one-to-one relationship, anything you want to manifest in 2018 has to come from the two of you talking about it, or the group of you talking about it. And then you start to envision it together, and it's called co-creating. So you bring in these ideas of only what's meaningful to you, what matters to you, and you start with you first. And then you spend next week, next month, what's important to me, what am I seeing, what am I noticing? And we shift from goal setting and putting a future mark out there, because sometimes that has attachment. And you can only create what you know, which is, I think I could live a lot better with $5,000 more per year. So I'm going to, my goal is to ask for a raise or to go after this bonus. Well, wow, what if you're worth more? What if there's something completely different out there that you have no idea of envisioning because you're so spot on, sort of like a pointer dog going after the goal, that you forget all the invitations that are happening all around you, right? So that's why we're talking about presence. That's why we're talking about how do you know how you feel? How do you know what you want? How do you know how to notice things? How do you know how to pay attention? And how do you keep something that matters to you right in front of you so you can play with it and nudge it around and turn it over and redirect it at different times? This gives us an opportunity to be flexible, creative, less rigid, and it allows for change and surprises and things that we didn't even know were possible. So much more. Like, I remember thinking, it's time for me to leave Whitefish. You know, and I agree I'm going to go for a little while because I don't know if I'm really ready to leave, and wherever I go has to be better than Whitefish. And it was kind of like, has to be better than Whitefish because I love Whitefish. It's a great mountain town. It has everything I adore. So when I get on the ferry and I'm heading to Bainbridge, I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I got these bubbles. I got this information that said Bainbridge, and I was thinking, really? So then all of a sudden they had my attention, and I started to notice what I noticed, and evergreens and mountains in the background and ocean and the same size town as Whitefish. And all of a sudden it was like, wow, I actually found something as good or better than Whitefish. And I was surprised and, you know, thrilled, because if I tried to say I want to move to Seattle and it's going to be this, that might not have been in my best interest. But being open and present and allowing what wants to happen means that I have an idea. I can envision what I want. I put it out there. I look for signs of manifesting it. And then when it shows up, I go, there it is. So what I'm asking you to do on this New Year's Eve is spend some time thinking about what it is that you want to start feeling. What is it you want to start experiencing? What is it that you want to start co-creating for your life in the next weeks, months, and year? And then start to sort of find out, what do I need to do to bring that into focus? So manifesting is looking for the visual signs of what's showing up, going back and being thankful, and starting all over again, which is, there it is. I am so thankful that it showed up. It's here, right? And then we start all over again. And then we go, so if this is what's going on, what do I envision as where I want to go, what I want to do next? And then you start the process all over again. So I'm going to close this with Henry David Thoreau. And I've always had this quote on my refrigerator for the last 20 years. We are constantly being invited to who we are. We just have to pay attention, right? We just have to notice. And being present, being completely in your body, showing up, paying attention, noticing what you notice, means that all of this is so much easier. So have a happy new year. Enjoy this weekend. Enjoy the full moon. And I will see you next year in 2018. Take care. Bye-bye.